We need to bring light to the issue.
Diversity is still an issue that we're not finished, we're not done.
The left has hijacked this game.
5 of the 8 fired coaches were black, and so far, none of the coaches hired to replace them is black.
We know it's not going to be an equal playing field when it comes to minorities and others.
Okay.
They'll never get that kind of chance.
What can the league do to fix the Rooney Rule?
We have to make sure we continue to get exposure for them and make sure that they get the opportunity.
3 coaches of color, Ron Rivera, Anthony Lynn, and Mike Tomlin.
The NFL said it has made great strides in advancing efforts to promote diversity and inclusion throughout the league, including at the head coaching position.
There is new incentive for teams to hire black coaches who are predominantly discriminated against, even with the Rooney Rule put in place.
You have to interview a minority, and it has to be a legitimate interview. It can't be just a token thing. And, it's proven very, very effective.
There's no debating that the Rooney Rule has had a positive impact on the NFL, wrote the Undefeated's Jason Reed. The rule, however, has 2 fatal flaws. The temptation to substitute sham interviews in place of a search for real diversity and coordinator-level positions, a crucial step to head coaching jobs, are not under the umbrella.
When teams began making coaching changes at the end of the 2018 season, the black and white issue came into stark contrast. 5 of the 8 fired coaches were black, and so far, none of the coaches hired to replace them is black.
This past offseason, the alarm was rung. 5 head coaching positions were available, and none went to African Americans. The 2019 NFL Racial and Gender Report Card via the Institute for Diversity and Ethics in Sport saw the NFL score an 82.3 for racial hiring practices. This was the league's lowest point total in the past 15 years.
Let's start with this. Diversity is a fact. Inclusion is a choice.
Executive Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent, a former standout player, was having none of it. The facts are we have a broken system, Vincent said. So the NFL acted. A proposal was put in place. If a club hires a minority head coach and general manager, it can potentially move up 16 spots in the 3rd round of the draft. It would need to be approved by 24 of 32 NFL owners to pass. Those talks were tabled in unleashing some chaos late last week after news broke of a radical draft incentive proposal. It created a sense of desperation and urgency in its willingness to consider extreme measures. And the reason was because of that backlash that, as ESPN's Bomani Jones put it, basically, to have to be bribed to seriously consider hiring minority coaches is a staggering indictment of the NFL. Former Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis had a stronger take with the Baltimore Sun. It was offensive, definitely offensive. It was like having Jim Crow laws. Current Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn went on the record saying, "I think sometimes you can do the wrong thing while trying to do the right thing." And former Colts head coach, Super Bowl winner Tony Dungy, who was fired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for making the playoffs in 4 of 6 seasons, said this to Pro Football Talk. He feared the unintended consequences of rewarding people for doing the right thing. As history will show time and time again, it is on the owners, with only a single minority in that hierarchy. Rather than embracing the Rooney Rule, owners began to find ways to get around it. For example, interviewing in-house minority candidates they had no intention of hiring. Pro sports also has a huge problem for minority hiring that's really hard to correct. The colossal advantage coaches' sons have in the job market. And since the coaches are already primarily white, you see how it goes. Steve Belichick, son of Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, is on line 1.